So, like she mentioned, today we have two special speakers, Naomi Sharp and Anna Chisholm. And just for those that don't know, we've been doing this program called the Speak Up program. And it's just a mini public speaking course. They wanted to challenge themselves to be able to speak well in front of a big audience, which takes humongous guts. And yes, not to mention public speaking is the #1 fear in the world, over dying. So it is a huge fear that they are willing to challenge this morning. So I pray that we could be a great audience and encourage them, right, this morning? Woo! So without further ado, let's welcome up Naomi Sharp and Anna Chisholm! So look at that one, so it's not here.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning!
Ohayou gozaimasu. My Japanese grandmother's here. The title of our talk today is Life Begins at the End of Your Comfort Zone. So, I'm sure the majority of you already know us, but I'm Naomi.
And I'm Anna.
And we're part of the Speak Up program. We are a team, and we're the Comfort Zone Challenge team. So to prepare for our talk today, we really looked into depth on this comfort zone thing. We looked on what it actually is, how we can make it bigger or get out of it, and why this is actually important. So our main point for our talk is how will getting out of your comfort zone benefit your life? So you can see this wonderful picture. There's your comfort zone. It's really smiles and happy, but it's not where the magic happens. So imagine this situation. So I'm sure it's happened to us all. Let's imagine that you are at a party or a gathering, and you see someone that you don't really know, but you kind of want to talk to them. If you're anything like me, you don't like to talk to new people. You don't like to reach out. I'm going out of my comfort zone here. So let's say you want to talk to them, and it goes like this. Hi, I'm Naomi. Oh. That was awkward. That was really awkward. Like that. So these moments where we try to go out, or if we're ready to do something, we go out of what is comfortable. These moments happen all the time. Like if you, maybe you want to try new food, or maybe you try something new. But anyways, in these moments, and we would get rejected, we tend to go back to our comfort zone, and we think about that moment forever in our lives. Maybe it's just me, but we go back to this comfort zone. So what is this comfort zone?
All right. So the definition of the comfort zone is a place or situation where one feels safe or at ease and without stress. So as you can see here, there's a little diagram showing the 3 zones. The first is the comfort zone, the second is the learning zone, and the last is the panic zone. So first of all, the comfort zone basically lives up to its name. It's a place where we feel comfortable with everything inside our comfort zone. This includes daily activities and tasks. For instance, some people feel comfortable meeting and talking to new people, whereas others, that's a very scary experience. So I have a little example here. It's not a real-life example, but imagine you're driving to work in your car, and your car breaks down, and you decide to take the bus. Your stress levels are starting to rise, but you can handle it. This is the learning zone. Then once you get to work, your boss comes up to you with a grave face and says, "You know that presentation material I gave to you last week? You had all year to work on it. Well, I need that presentation in 5 minutes in the conference room in front of the President of the United States of America, who will decide your entire future." Now you're in the panic zone. All right. So how do we learn to expand our learning zone? stay out of our comfort zone, and avoid going too far out into the panic zone.
This little circle diagram thing here is the same one on the last slide, but it kind of shows you the average, or people's average comfort zone, learning zone, and panic zone. They're all pretty equal. But what we're trying to convince you here now is that you really need to increase your comfort zone. Make sure that you're comfortable with a lot more things, and also increase your learning zone, because this will make your panic zone get a little bit smaller. Ta-da! See? That panic zone. Okay. So you want to do that, but what are the benefits? What are the benefits of really increasing your capability to try new things? Taking risks is what helps us grow. It helps you grow creatively and spiritually. I had a situation. I had a major history presentation at the end of school. Yeah, I have history last period, so I had a major presentation, and since it's at the end of school, I knew I would have all the rest of the school to think about it and freak out about it. So I have first period, and I also had to do just a little demonstration with a lab partner in chemistry to show the class our lab, which was making crystals, and the time came to do it, but my partner was not there. The teacher said I have to do it by myself. So as much as I didn't want to, and as much as I didn't like it, I did it by myself. So that was me going out of my comfort zone. Now comes my history presentation, and I did it. Came down, and I thought it wasn't that bad. And I thought back to my chemistry little situation there. I was stressed, but in that situation, I grew, and I felt that I did a little better in my history, and I felt better while I was up there. Now, actually, when I came down and I sat down, the girl right next to me, she told me, you looked confident while you were up there. I thought, man. And inside, my little heart grew spiritually. So taking risks can grow you spiritually as well as creatively. You'll be more confident and productive. When you do new things, you will be more likely to do new things later. You will be confident. I'm not the kind of person to do outgoing things, but I would imagine that if you're the kind of outgoing person who is very willing to try new things, you're probably pretty confident when it comes to new things. You can also be productive if you increase your comfort zone, because, like, let's say you're at home. When you're in your comfort zone, you're maybe just doing homework or reading a book, but when it comes to doing chores, maybe, it's out of that comfort zone, but you're being productive. Also, if you do your chores more, then you'll be more productive because you'll want to do it more later. Or maybe at school, you're comfortable when you're just sitting there listening, maybe taking notes, but then maybe it's out of your comfort zone to raise your hand, but that'll be more productive. You will learn better. You will do better in the future. It can help you perform at your peak. So this is basically the learning zone, like from the last slide. When you're in a stressful situation, you kind of tend to do things maybe a bit better, kind of like procrastination. So you come to the last maybe a couple minutes of time to work on something, and maybe it's due the next day. And most of the time, I feel, maybe it's just me, but I tend to have that drive to get it done. So you can be more productive. Familiarity will make you more likely to enjoy things in life. You will, by increasing your comfort zone, by choosing to do things you don't want to do, you will know how to do more fun things, and you'll be able to enjoy a lot more stuff. Lastly, you may inspire others. So believe it or not, you actually influence other people. Maybe it's by what you're wearing, or by how you talk, or what you wear, but I mean, people look at you and they get inspired. So if you do something outgoing, especially if you're not an outgoing person, then you can really inspire other people. If I saw somebody bungee jumping that I knew, I would definitely be more likely to do it. Maybe just 20%. So you have all these benefits. You want to do it, but how? How do you increase your comfort zone and or learning zone?
All right. The key to this is basically taking small baby steps. The first is to do things differently. For instance, if you're someone who makes very snappy, rash decisions on the spot and later goes on to regret that decision because you didn't think it over and make the right decision, then you might want to try to do things differently and take your time instead. Then if you're someone who takes way too much time, mulls things over in your head for weeks on end and never really comes to a clear conclusion, then you might want to try to do things differently and make some snappy decisions. The next point is to face your fears. Now, most of us know the number one fear in the world is public speaking. So right now, Naomi and I are definitely out of our comfort zone. I think we're in the learning zone right now. We might be in the panic zone. But we're definitely learning. This experience right now is helping us grow. Now, the next point is to talk to new people. Maybe say hi to one new person a day, someone you've never met before, never talked to before. Maybe you've seen them around at church, after this you could. And maybe at school, raise your hand when you never would in any other circumstance. Step out of your comfort zone. At work, make a friendly conversation with someone you've never talked to before. And another point is God never gives you anything you can't handle. One example of this is right here. We might be freaking out right now, but this is something we can handle. We're handling it. And lastly, think positive. When we step out of our comfort zone and think negative thoughts, like the last time I meant to meet someone new and they just walked away, don't think about that negative experience when you step out of your comfort zone, because if you think about thoughts like that as you do so, you will most likely end up with a negative experience. Think about the positive times, the times where it ended out positively. All right. To end with a quote.
A comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. By somebody.
All right. Now we'd like to reach out to you and ask you to step out of your comfort zone, whether it is today, tomorrow, or next week, sometime. You will most definitely grow. Thank you.